Good evening, and welcome to our Parent Information Night for the Elementary Program for Academic and Creative Extension. My name is Diana Candido. I am the Superintendent of Education for Exceptional Learners. I apologize for my non-functioning camera this evening, but I look forward to meeting with you in the days to come. For this evening, we will have several presenters. Ellen Michelli-Bush, the Coordinator of Special Programs for Elementary, Elsa Strano, our PACE consultant, and Dr. Diane Lude, Manager and Lead Psychologist for York Catholic District School Board. As always, we would like to begin our session with a prayer. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Celebration of gifts. We thank you for the wonderful students we have in our schools. May we help them to learn to recognize the gifts they possess and to never underestimate their potential. May we give them the confidence and knowledge they need to achieve their dreams. Let them be supported as they risk, as they give, and as they grow. May our example, our dedication, and our compassion, comfort, inspire those we work with. Amen. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And now I turn to our first presenter for our land acknowledgement.
We are gathered on the ancestral lands and waters of all Indigenous peoples who have left their footprints on Mother Earth before us. We respectfully acknowledge those who have walked on it, those who walk on it now, and future generations who have yet to walk upon it. We pray to the Creator for strength and wisdom that all may continue to serve as stewards of the earth. Good evening, everyone. We will begin this evening with an overview of the PACE program, including logistics, components, and distinguishing features. We will provide insights into the characteristics of students in the program and guidelines for parents and guardians in supporting your child within the program. This presentation will culminate with an opportunity to hear about the PACE program from PACE students. Following the presentation at about 7:30, you will be asked to join a breakout session for the school your child will be attending. You should have received an email invitation from the PACE school principal. Links are also posted on the YouTube page where you accessed this presentation. Please note if there's any questions regarding the secondary PACE program, they can be directed to Linda Lossick, our secondary coordinator. We will also be posting the slides from tonight's presentation on the YCDSB website in case you would like to review them. So today I'm going to turn to our first presenter, and that is Dr. Diane Lude.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to give you just a brief overview of the criteria for entry into the PACE program. Candidates who enter our PACE program are students who are identified as gifted, so they will go through the IPRC process with demonstrated strengths in the following domains. So they demonstrate academic excellence as well as cognitive and intellectual skill development that is extremely high, and they have supporting skills such as work habits and learning skills that support their learning. So the gifted student represents about the top 2% of the population. And so the way we obtain those scores is we do individual testing. We start out with a screener and then we do individual assessment. And so we appreciate everyone's patience and flexibility with the PACE screening process this year, as COVID and school closures and such made it a challenge that we overcame to ensure that we were able to do the testing. For students in our board who proceeded to the individual testing, we administered the full-scale IQ subtests from the Wechsler Intelligence Scales for Children 5th edition, the WISC-5. This also gave us a GAI score, a General Abilities Index, which looks at those thinking and reasoning skills without the effects of working memory and processing speed. So what we find is that we're really looking at the top 2% of the population in terms of thinking and reasoning skills. Gifted is not a diagnosis; it's an identification, and it's a Ministry of Education identification. So individual boards can have different criteria for who they identify as gifted, and our board has settled on the 98th percentile in terms of the testing requirement.
So I'll be talking about the logistics of our PACE program. So students in the PACE program are in self-contained classroom. It's not a withdrawal model where they would go and do extensions for part of the day. They are full-time members of a PACE classroom. And they're with peers who are also identified as gifted. Our classes range from grades 5 to 8. And each student who is formally identified by the IPRC process, and this will happen prior to the end of the year, receives an individual education plan. And I'll be giving you more specific details about that in the coming slides. So we currently have 4 PACE elementary schools within the York Catholic District School Board. The elementary school that your child attends is determined by your home address, and this also determines your PACE schools. So the 4 that we have one in each geographical area of our board. We have St. Gregory the Great, which is in Woodbridge, St. Paul in Newmarket, St. Justin Martyr, which is found in Markham, and St. Charles Garnier, which is in Richmond Hill. Transportation for students in grades 4 to 8 who live beyond 1.6 kilometers from the PACE school will receive transportation. They will, however, may be required to walk a short distance to and from a centralized bus stop. So it's not a door-to-door pickup, but just like any student who takes the school bus, there'll be a centralized spot close to the house for pickup. So parents are encouraged to visit the website schoolbuscity.com in late August. You just type in your address and it'll tell you exactly where that bus stop is. Okay. Once they get into high school, transportation is not guaranteed because as students get older, the distance that they're able to travel to walk is different. So you can discuss that later when they're in grade 8. So just an overview of the program. PACE is a program for students identified as gifted that facilitates the development of skills necessary for 21st century learners, using instructional strategies that support their learning ability and style. So whether they're creative, collaborative, more of techie type students. Global competency skills are integrated and embedded in grade level curriculum. So it's not that we accelerate the program because they're in grade 5 PACE, we have them do grade 6 work. They are in grade level curriculum, but we provide extensions that have higher level thinking. These curriculum extensions provide opportunities to develop and practice the skills necessary to be successful in post-secondary education, as well as their chosen careers, their social, and their family life. It promotes critical higher level thinking skills, creative problem solving, decision-making strategies, collaboration with others, effective oral and written communication, research skills, analysis and synthesis of information, as well as use of technology. So as you see, we promote well-rounded students in our program. Next slide. The role of the PACE teacher. So all of our PACE teachers have special education qualifications. So they have received training in different learning styles. In the PACE program, the teacher acts more as a facilitator. They facilitate learning by providing students with open-ended activities and a variety of tools, such as access to technology, and by encouraging the development of collaborative dialogue with peers through cooperative learning opportunities based on students' assets, interests, and inquiries. So they utilize a wide array of research-based and effective teaching strategies that varies around the curricula. They apply various learning processes and models to programming and assessment, and they provide opportunities for blended learning with technology as well as face-to-face teaching. So we really encourage technology in our PACE program. All students in the program will have access to a Chromebook. That is new this year as of fall of 2021. Each PACE classroom in our board is equipped with interactive whiteboards, and now this works beautifully with our Chromebooks. The students are able to share their screens and be more interactive. We're also very excited to announce that during this school year, 2 of our grade 7 PACE classes have been involved in a competitive robotics program. So robotics is something that we're also trying to grow in our PACE program. We're looking to expand it to include all our other PACE centers in the next few years. We're also working in collaboration with our new STREAM centers here at YCDSB. STREAM stands for, some of you may have heard of STEM program. Here, STREAM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math, and we've added the religion component as we weave faith values throughout all our programming here at York Catholic. So we will have the PACE classes have opportunities to visit and participate in those centers for more hands-on and interactive learning throughout the year as well. Differentiation within the PACE program. So how do we provide the enrichment that I mentioned earlier? So differentiation in PACE takes the form of extending the depth and breadth of the curriculum, specifically in English and mathematics. This program allows students to explore deeper into the content, as well as expand their knowledge by making connections to other curriculum areas, real life expectations, world issues, and we teach them to adopt a social justice lens. With students in PACE, teachers are able to compact the content by establishing entry points based on skills that students may have already mastered. So this affords them the opportunity to learn new concepts at a pace that maintains their interest, their engagement, and remains a challenge for them. By linking content learning to real life applications, students are able to be introduced to more abstract learning. For example, using the robotics can introduce students to real world engineering challenges. The enriched learning experiences are interwoven throughout our existing curriculum. In the past, students have been invited to participate in things such as regional math contests and science fairs, just to name a few. This year we have, as I mentioned, the robotics challenges happening with a program called FIRST, where they're actually learning to make engines with Lego. And we're always looking for new and exciting new challenges for our students. So here's an example of the individual education plan that I mentioned earlier for a PACE student. So this is a sample of a math area, just for one, for a student who is in PACE. So we begin with the ministry expectation for a specific math strand. So in this case, it would be measurement, as in column 1. So the expectation from the government ministry is determined through investigation using software and strategies, building arrays, the relationship between the length and width of a rectangle and its area perimeter. So we then consider the related goals that we find in the math program that we use in all schools. And the lesson would be something like this, the middle column. Explore the relationship between area and perimeter, develop and use a rule for calculating areas of rectangles, and coordinate systems on a grid to determine the locations. But now we would extend the depth and breadth of that in the form of a culminating task or project that links to a real world connection using alternative resources. So in this example, create a cityscape using Geometer Sketchpad and apply your knowledge of perimeter to forecast the area of land required. So students are asked to apply and extend that knowledge that they have of perimeter to create the cityscape. And Geometer is a sketchpad, a program, a mathematics visualization software program. So as you can see in this ending task, we've embedded those life skill connections while teaching them the skills and the expectations that are at grade level. They're just expanding them. Okay, next. How does assessment work in the PACE program? In terms of assessment, students in PACE are evaluating using the same reporting methods as students in the regular stream. So you'll see on the report card marks and comments. The marks are based on student achievement of the ministry grade level curriculum expectation. So they would get grades or percentages depending on their grade that's based on that curriculum expectation for their grade. Where there's a difference is in the comments. So the comments would pertain to the area of extensions which were provided to the student. So assessments come in all kinds of forms. They could be multimedia presentations, collaborative projects, quizzes, tests, some more more assessment methods that we see in regular classrooms, as well as some of those extensions. And now I'll pass it back to Ellen.
So your decision to accept the PACE placement for your child should be communicated to your current school principal by March the 30th. Your child is eligible to be formally identified through the Identification, Placement and Review Committee, or IPRC process. Students who are identified will receive an individual education plan and the opportunity for an annual review. The letter of offer for the PACE program allows for 3 choices. You can choose not to proceed with a formal identification through the IPRC process and decline placement in the PACE program. Or you can choose one of the 2 pathways illustrated here. You can proceed to IPRC for a formal identification with placement in the PACE program in a fully self-contained class. In this case, your child will receive an IEP with curriculum extensions. Or you may choose to proceed to formal identification, but you wish for your child to remain in their present homeschool or French immersion school. In this case, the placement is in a regular class and the IEP would include accommodations only. No extensions to the curriculum are provided outside of a placement in the PACE program. If you proceed to IPRC, you will receive a letter of invitation for the IPRC meeting. How can you as parents support your child's transition into the PACE program? They will be in a supportive environment. Teachers make an effort to build a community feeling right from the start. Talk to your child. Encourage them to have a coping attitude where they wait and see, knowing that the other children are experiencing the same adjustment. Provide facts and answers to questions in a positive way. The PACE school may provide additional information on supporting the transition. Most of all, trust your child to manage and grow. Once they enter the program, maintain and encourage a balance of academics, extracurricular, and rest and relaxation time. Maintain appropriate homeschool communication through the agenda, report cards, and scheduled interviews. There are 4 secondary schools that offer the PACE program. They are available to all students identified as gifted, both those coming from an elementary PACE program, as well as those coming from regular placements at their home schools. The Advanced Placement, or AP, is a curriculum platform that includes accelerated learning. We use this to deliver the PACE program in our secondary schools. It is available at Father Brezani, Sacred Heart, St. Teresa, and St. Brother Andre. Transportation to the designated PACE school is provided for identified students who are beyond the minimum distance to the school. AP programs are also available at other high schools, such as Our Lady Queen of the World and St. Joan of Arc. However, these schools are not offering AP as part of the PACE program, so students would not be eligible for transportation outside of their area. For students that are currently attending a French immersion program, they have to earn a total of 485 school hours of French instruction per year. So should you consider a decision to return to French immersion once your child has entered PACE, it must be made as soon as possible. We recommend that it's done prior to Thanksgiving in early October. If you have any questions regarding French immersion, you can contact our French consultant, Carlo Di Rienzo. So for the past 2 years, our programs, our PACE program has had an online component and students were able to access it virtually. However, the PACE program will only be available in person for the 2022-2023 school year. There will be no online learning option. So I'd like to share a video that was created by PACE students, and they speak to their experiences in the PACE program.
It teaches you good time management, and since you're in the class with other students who are like the top in your region, you can learn from them.
So at my old school, the work was easy. I would finish it on time and just be lazy and do whatever I want. But now here, PACE keeps me engaged. They give me work and I have time to finish it. PACE has really benefited me because, as I said before, I'm able to manage my time now, and now I can express my opinion with others who seem like me.
I think PACE really does prepare me for the future, because my older brother would always tell me, "You're so lucky you got into PACE." Because when I was in elementary school, the distance between grade 8 and grade 9 was really hard to get back into. So I feel like PACE gives you that opportunity to learn what you're doing in AP in high school, and the distance isn't that big. You're already used to it.
I really enjoyed doing the solar ovens outside because we got to cook food outside using the power of the sun, and it was just really educational and at the same time fun. And
the extension that I enjoyed the most in PACE is the ISP project. The ISP project is a project that you only get in PACE. It stands for Independent Study Project. So technically what you do is that you choose a subject or topic of your choice, anything you want.
In PACE, they have a lot of extensions like math contests. These math contests have really helped improve me in my math skills, and it's also a good thing to see how I rank in Canada.
Some of the extensions and project that I really enjoyed in PACE was the design challenge in science. The design challenge really challenged me and my peers in our problem-solving abilities, such as building the longest bridge or building the tallest tower without it falling down. Another thing that I extremely enjoyed about PACE was the mock legislature. We got to write our own bills and present them and see if they would pass. I, as a speaker, had tons of fun in this mock legislature.
One of the projects and extensions that we enjoyed a lot was the Create Country project.
Yeah, this project involved using all the geography skills throughout the year to create a country.
This project was really awesome to do because you could just be really creative with it. You know, the sky's the limit.
The thing I really liked about PACE is the fact that our class is pretty small, so soon enough we became really close, and since we never changed classes throughout the 4 years from grade 5 to grade 8, we really get close with each other. And also I like how we can explore other subjects and we just have more time for things that we like.
My favorite thing about PACE would probably be the teachers and like the community.
In PACE, I can learn at my own speed, so if I understand something, I can do it once and move on and do more challenging stuff that way.
My favorite thing about PACE is that it makes me want to go to school. I like going to sleep and knowing that the next day you'll be doing something more interesting, or you don't know what you're doing because it'll be a surprise.
My favorite thing about PACE is that there are many more opportunities that weren't available at my old school. Here in PACE, we are able to learn more things, and while we learn stuff at our grade level, we can challenge ourselves and learn more.
Also, we get to work at our own pace. No pun intended.
and we get many challenging and hands-on assignments.
And here, we are able to accept each other's differences and treat each other like family.
It was actually pretty easy, but because it's right on the same level as you are, and not too easy like it was in the previous school.
I would say that the work is kind of challenging because there are just so many projects that are going on at the same time, but it's a good type of challenging because it pushes you to do better and it's better for time management.
So at first in grade 5 when I came, I thought the work was challenging and I wasn't going to be able to keep up. But after help from the teachers, I learned how to manage my time properly, and this really helped me, and now it prepares me for high school.
I think the work is only challenging when you don't prepare yourself for it. Like, if you have a test, you know you need to study, but if you don't study, you won't do well. Things like that.
The work is a little bit harder, but it's worth it because when you finish, you'll feel really accomplished, and it pushes you to do the best you can do.
I feel like it was easy because everyone was also new to the school, and everyone was on the same level as you and had similar interests.
So first, I didn't want to come because I had my friends at my old school. I was really happy there, and I thought I might be an outsider if I come. But after coming to the program, it really helped me a lot. Like, I made a lot of new friends. I felt welcome. I was able to do a lot of work and increase my knowledge. And it's just nice to come here where everybody's like you and you're able to work with them easily.
Going to PACE is really not a scary thing, although it may seem like a scary thing, because meeting new people and fitting in is really not something you should be worried about, because everyone else is in the same position as you. Everyone else is going to be scared, everyone's going to be worried, but if you feel the same way, it's probably best if you open yourself and try to make friends.
It's important not to be intimidated by PACE.
You and your peers are all in the same boat.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Even if it seems challenging at first, you should just continue with PACE because it's a really good opportunity.
Once you get into PACE, don't ever start to feel like you don't belong or that you're not smart enough.
It's a very inclusive program and allows you to make new friends and get involved in the school.
And if you're still considering whether or not you should go, you should know that the people who are also coming in are in the same position as you. They don't really know anybody and they're probably scared. So you're all in the same boat, so you can all be friends. Easy.
Thank you for joining our general presentation. As I mentioned earlier, a copy of tonight's presentation will be available on our YCDSB website. At this time, you're invited to join the breakout Google Meet for the PACE school your child will be attending. These sessions will be led by the PACE principals. And once again, if you don't have the link, they are also available on the YouTube page. Enjoy your evening and thank you for joining us.